But with that, we are going to join the server. Don't worry about it. Whoops. It's fine. But with all that said, let's see. Enroll the very site of... Okay. I mean, I get that you stared down a puppy. Or a dog. I understand. Yeah, so normally when I play Project Zomboid, the game pattern you'll normally see is wake up, maybe manage a little bit of food, walk out, start slaying zombies until nightfall. And then, you know, like, work your way back to, like, home, sleep, repeat. Because that's what it takes to set those marathon run records and all that. On the server, I have been taking a very, very, like, hands-off approach to a lot of that stuff. And kind of just doing the base building kind of stuff. For the record, I am not on voice chat on here, but a lot of people are. Which they have the in-game voice comms are on, as well as the, you can hop on the Discord and chat with each other. That's totally fine. Okay, looks like it's middle of the night. But the things I have been kind of working on is I have been doing the farming, to which last I looked, I had overwhelmed the fridge and the freezers, so that there's literally no room left. I may have overwhelmed all of the fridges and the freezers in the neighboring gas station. I may have also overwhelmed all the fridges and the freezers in some of the nearby houses. Oh, good. Someone planted more. Excellent. Because I'm already at 9.5 farming. So... Yep. For the record, the town has been renamed Lake Fallis, or El Gosoberg within our community, but Lake Fallis. And the reason why it has been renamed that is Ekron is actually coming into the game itself with the Build 42, which creates the problem of we've been calling this Ekron forever, even though the developers were like, it's absolutely not Ekron, but you know, it's not actually a town in the Kentucky. They just made a town because, you know, like map balance kind of things. So everyone just called it Ekron because it was kind of similar to it. But now Ekron is actually coming. We have to go, wait a second. So, what do we call this place? And apparently, internally, the dev team calls it Lake Phallus, because the lake down here is somewhat phallic. True story. I deliberately mispronounce it Lake Phallus because I am not sitting here calling a place phallus all the time. You playing in a map based on a Canadian province? Neat. Yeah, there's lots of good custom make. Alright. There. I have officially hit 10 farming. And to celebrate, we're just going to eat a whole cabbage. Alright. Prince Edward Island? Yeah, that's, I will say one of the things you run into with Project Zomboid is a lot of the modded maps, some of them are really good, for the record. There's even ones that have Easter egg to me, like the, oh, I forget what the name was. Was it Midway? Like, they even have, like, nods to the creators and all that kind of stuff that are known in the communities a lot. But stuff like the zombie distribution and all that kind of stuff could be a whole mess. Yeah, it would make sense for the water to be off, wouldn't it? Yeah, with ever, because it's pit stop. Thank you, pit stop. Yeah, the pit stop map has a an Easter egg for me as well as a lot of other members of the Project Zomboid community. Oh yeah, I meant to actually plant seeds. We have the yeah, I believe the if I remember correctly, pit stop, because we went and we checked it out and all that. There's water bottles, adult bags. Yeah, I just need to top off my water. But the pit stop map has a Rual's premium blade store, which has like a display for like knives and all sorts of stuff. You can find like a machete or two in there if you're lucky. And then there's like even like a little classroom in the back and a whole bunch of stuff. It meant a lot to me when the person developing that, you know, reached out. I was like, hey, you know, I want to add a thing for you in this map. Alright. So I was instinctively like, I want to start walking over and then working where I was going to be building, like, the community stuff. But it is a dark night. You're surprised it didn't make Storge named Rual Storge? Well, that's the thing. That was certainly one way we could have gone with it. But they reached out, they're like, you know, well, like, what sort of stuff do you, like, tell me about, like, your channel and all that kind of stuff, you know, what would you, like, do on your channel? So we actually talked about channel. So it wasn't just a play on the name, but it was trying to be more aligned with, like, what we have. So with Project Zomboid, I've been known for, like, using the short blades as my primary go-to. So there was that. And that, like, you know, I approach stuff with analytics and teaching as well. So that's far more meaningful than if they went, haha, names sound like rural storage. I do remember before they balanced pit stop, and I have no idea how the map is nowadays, but before they did the balance of pit stop, you'd go into the weapons store and you'd walk out with like 30 or 40 machetes. Like, you just have this entire arsenal. It's like, okay, maybe you need to nerf my weapons store. It's a little too thick with the weapons supply. Yeah, and that was the whole thing. It was too generous when it first came out, but it wasn't the only one. A lot of the map had that problem. Okay, so I absolutely should not just take all of these gravel bags and load them up on my person and go for a walk. Because one of the plans I kind of had that I wanted to do is I like the idea of, for like a long-term project, going over here where we see Vitas right now and starting to like build our own community, like build our own community from scratch, base building kind of thing. $37 looks like dangerous levels. It's fine. Ignore the heart pulsing back and forth and my total health slowly declining. It's fine. I appreciate it, Sentient Cookie. Because it's going to take a heck of a lot of gravel. Yeah, just ignore my health declining. For the record, you can't actually die from carrying too much. I think it'll drop to you, I think it's like 15% health, and then it won't go down any farther. Now, if you have a whole bunch of other things going wrong and you're carrying too much, it can contribute to your death. But it itself cannot be fatal. Nope. Carrying too much can't kill you. Because that'd be a really crappy way to die in the game. You put all this effort, you're just not watching, you accidentally pick up too many logs, and then suddenly your character dies. And you'd be like, what? You know we have cars, right? Cars are stinky. It's the literal end of the world, and we're still trying to contribute to global warming? Come on. You died because you forgot to patch up bleeding scratch, if you remember correctly. I don't think I've ever died of a bleeding scratch. A laceration will get you. Or, I mean, I guess a scratch in the neck might be able to get you. I so seldomly get injured that it catches me off guard, like the persistent sides of injuries. Because, like, when you're doing the marathon runs, like, it means I'll be doing one run of Project Zomboid for, like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Like, well, that is not what you want to see. So the first thing we're doing is we're dropping our gravel, so we're not penalized. I can't see anything because it's dark and rainy. Oh, and this character has, like, no combat skills and very little strength and fitness. We were obese. I think we're just overweight now. We have 0 nimble. And we are fairly exerted because I was walking a good ways with, you know, a bunch of extra stuff. Yo, music, calm down. Oh, for the record, the closed door is not a bug. It's just not a well thought through design decision. Basically, the idea is if you move too fast when you open or close the doors kind of thing, it's as if the character bailed without, you know, dealing with the door. There's just no animation to let you know the door's open. What are you talking about, Darth? I know you like to be random, but we've had the whole thing where you talk about stuff where you're very deliberately leaving out details and context and everything. And it's more distracting than anything, so, like, if you're just gonna say random stuff, at least provide the context. I wouldn't say it's a clever way of saying cockpit. Alright, so drop the gravel again. And I'm gonna keep walking. And we'll turn back. You always have fun dying. That's a mile of the game, right? I mean, you're not wrong. So, the reason I didn't stop and fight him this time is we're at excessive exertion. So, that's not a fight worth taking. I'll probably just break my weapons as I slowly massage them with them, as opposed to actually do any type of meaningful damage. Alright, sorry about that. No problem, Strider. I'm not used to seeing very many zombies around here. That said, with all the driving around and all that, that is usually how you bring zombies to the road and whatnot. Doesn't really surprise me that much. My intent had been to walk over to this chair, and because I'm faster than they are, have enough of a distance to rest for a minute. I don't think I'm going to be actualizing that plan. Yeah, no, there's, by all means. Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. That's actually one of the things that makes multiplayer interesting, is it makes the zombies way less predictable. Because you never... Never know what people are gonna do. I mostly just need to kill this handful of zombies that are on me. It's only like 6 or 7. I just carrying all the gravel wore myself out way faster than I should have. It wouldn't be so bad as well if it wasn't so dark, because if it wasn't so dark because of the rain, I would have been able to see those zombies and be like, oh, let's stop, drop the stuff, rest, and then engage the zombies, but I can't really see much off the road. But I strategically placed a chair down here at the corner because I was chopping trees down, which is extremely exhausting. Oh. That's... Okay, I was expecting to only get like a minute to rest and then they're going to catch up. I was not expecting... Alright, with multiplayer, we probably crossed the cell line. And a lot of times in multiplayer, if you try to drag zombies across the cell line, they just vanish from existence. It's one of the reasons I also didn't bother with like 16 times pop stuff. Every time I played on a server that has like super duper high pops like that, when you pull the big horde and you go to fight them, you only get through a little bit of them, and then you cross the cell line, and the others just either lose aggro or just turn and burn, or just vaporize from existence or something like that. It'd take us a minute to recover because we have like no fitness and we were super exhausted. Yeah, Bongsville, that's just a thing that happens in multiplayer. Basically, the longer you get the zombies to follow you, the more likely that is to happen. My understanding is when they cross the cell line, just the way multiplayer works is it starts having issues. So they just poof out of existence. Alright, we're getting there. Realistically, I should have taken the car, but I'm also lazy. Wonder if I'll actually catch a cold. Be one of the only times I've caught a cold in the game. Outside of, like, doing, you know, cryogenic winter where you basically catch a cold right at the beginning because there's no avoiding it. Not usually. Alright, so we're just waiting for that bar to disappear. When that bar disappears, it means we're fully rested. Now we can go back, grab our gravel and our bags, or our bag and everything. Yeah, just to give you an idea about the server. Like, anytime I pop on, I usually see at least, like, a good 4 or 5 names running around. We're mostly based around here. Where Vitez is where I talked about building a base. But then you'll have people like exploring various houses out in the distance, either looking for loot or they'll be getting their own save houses. Look like devs all the way up in West Point doing West Point things. Which that's all fine. I'm actually surprised I didn't see people running around with military backpacks. Because I know one thing I'm notorious for when I get onto multiplayer servers is the moment I can get my hands on a car, I'll usually make a run either to the military checkpoint or to the secret military base just to scoop up some military backpacks, and I'll usually try and grab a couple, alright. Has it been alright performance-wise under the hood? Yeah, and everything's been fine. I haven't had people complain that it's been kind of pokey and all that. About all you can do from monitoring the performance of Project Zomboid servers is, like, it'll use pretty much any of the memory you can get. Like, that's just a thing. and it's a good thing for it to use all that memory. So you usually worry if you're actually seeing issues in the game, like stuff, getting all janky and all that. Or if like the CPU starts capping out. And the CPU has not gotten very high. Oh right, my food is in the bag. I'll just jog back to our backpack. But yeah, so we haven't had any problems. The only thing I had to adjust was the very first day we were playing. I did have to adjust how many players could be on the server, because I started at 10 because I had no idea what kind of turnout we would have. And that first day we had gotten over 10 people. Well, that's annoying. I do dislike when the zombies vanish from existence, because it gets really, really hard to know what's going on there. Because there used to be, I don't know if it still is a bug, there used to be a bug where the zombies' textures might not load in multiplayer. You'd still hear it and stuff, and now's the whole thing. Craven Horde saying, I feel like your tile is misleading. You can never grow too much cabbage. Hear me out. We have 2 fridges at the base. I filled up the fridges and the freezer. I went to the gas station around the corner. I filled up all 4 of their fridges and freezers. Then I went over to several of the neighboring houses. I also filled up their fridges and freezers. And then I went, I'm looking at my skills and my 10 farming. Maybe I've grown enough. Really, built something at the base? Okay, as soon as I'm done with the gravel drop-off, I will go back there and get that. Just let that health go right back down. But yeah, so it's not that I've been avoiding fighting at all, but generally speaking, when I've been playing this on the server, I've not been at all focused on any of the combat stuff. Like, I'll fight if I need to fight, but it's like I just want to build stuff. We're farming. We're having a good time. It's just different gameplay than I usually put on the channel. It's something that, kind of because of what I've got going on with Project Zomboid, I've got over 3,000 hours in this game. It's difficult for me to engage with a bunch of the systems these days, because as you play the game, you can kind of see behind the veneer, and you go, oh, there's this complicated system, but functionally it's unimportant. Oh, but there's this other really cool complicated system, but it really doesn't actually matter at all. Yeah, no, Rual's retired. Exactly. Rual has done his slaying. He's proven himself. He doesn't give a crap anymore what people think. He has nothing else to prove. He just wants to build his little house in the woods. Be among the nature. Back in my day, I used to slay zombies in the snow, uphill, both ways. I mean, we've definitely done the fights where... Look, I was literally just here. Could you not? Did you actually see me, or just you're shifting? That's fair. Alright. You have to enjoy your time multiplayer server too? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's mostly like... The issue I ran into, and one of the reasons I don't play as much Project Zomboid these days, is like I said, I've got thousands of hours in it. It's a really fun game. Like, for the record, if someone's like, oh, if you played this so much, like, you probably, like, what would you recommend for a zombie survival game to play? Like, yeah, Project Zomboid, there's no contest. Like, don't get me wrong, if you don't like isometric games, you're certainly not going to like it because it's an isometric game or whatever. But of the zombie survival games, it's one of the few I actually feel like does a good job of being a zombie survival game and not just a survival game that happens to feature zombies, if that makes any sense. And like, for example, I wouldn't call State of Decay 2 in my mind is not a zombie survival game. It is a zombie apocalypse game that you are trying to survive. But when you think about what usually qualifies as a survival game, you know, your characters like running around having to drink water and eat food and do all that sort of stuff. Yep, Strider, I am aware. The Death Star did go boom and a whole bunch of stuff. Also helped destroy ships. Really feeling that lack of fitness right now. We'll get a point someday, don't worry. Now, it did have the mood will go away for exertion. R2-D2 is a droid. I know. But that doesn't actually mean you're fully recovered. It's that there's thresholds that's like, I think it's like 60 or 70% that if you're above that you don't show it. But you can be at 71% of your full endurance. And it'll go away, but that means you're 1% for going right back to exerted. Just gonna sit for a minute, let ourselves recover. Good enough for me. We'll use the signal of our character being hungry as being like, okay, let's try moving. We'll probably get exerted, but the first level of exertion, while it is a 50% damage reduction, which sucks, I think that's manageable. You got kicked again? Have people been getting kicked a lot, or is it just Dev? I'm just checking to see if, like, maybe there's a connection issue that Dev's dealing with, or there's some server issue. Nope, got kicked for the first time. Okay. And we kicked it? Gotcha. As long as it's not something that's happening to a lot of people, where it's like, ah, clearly there's something wrong. If it's just like one-off kind of things, then that you can just basically kind of go to like, okay, someone's internet hicked up, or, you know, there was some disturbance between you and the server, or just, you know, finagling. You been okay for the most part? Gotcha. Yeah, because I got kicked briefly last night, which when I say I got kicked, I think everyone on got kicked at the same time, that we just got a message like the world was being saved, and then the whole server like kicked off and then back. The point is like, hey, Rual, did you reset the server? It's like, I didn't reset the server. Did the server reset? Yes. I didn't do it, though. You don't mind having to log back in every now and then? Just wanted to make sure it wasn't everyone else for the same reasons as you. Gotcha. Yeah, no, like I said, if we do end up having any issue with the server, by all means let me know. Like, can't address what I'm not aware of. Now, what I can do depends on, like, the reasoning behind it. We've been fortunate we haven't had, like, a bunch of server crashes or whatever else. Consolidate all the bags. Can't play this much Zomboid in weeks. Why are you not giving me the option to, I should be getting an option to be able to not place item. Oh, right, I click on the ground, that's right. Okay. I'm going to start, instead of where it's making the whole path wide, I'm going to start by just making a straight line. And working through that. No problem. Like I said, the whole reason we set this server up was we had some sub-goals. It wasn't the last month, it was the month before that. That basically, if we hit each sub-goal, they unlock something. So we had a community game night, which we actually played this on. Then we had a community game night that one of my days off, instead of taking the day off stream, a bunch of us hopped on the Discord, and we ended up playing Project Zomboid together, is what we ultimately did. And then we also were like, okay, if we hit this other milestone, I will host a server, and we'll vote on what the game is. And Project Zomboid was the game that by far won. There was a couple others in the running, like Valheim and all that, but, you know, Project Zomboid, like, solidly won. EP Tools faction? Sure. Alright. Yeah, so the reason I'm doing this is if we pour the gravel on here, if I remember correctly, this will convert it from being considered off-road to, you know, on-road. Oh, will that change your save house? No. Joining a faction shouldn't affect your own safe house, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so trying to do is there's a lake over here that I want to kind of start building a community around. Like, eventually, like, as, like, the goal to, like, make our own town or whatever. And so I want to make effectively a road between here and where that town is going to be. That way when people drive cars and all that, they're not off-roading the whole way and ruining their tires. But if I remember correctly, doing this should consider it no longer off-roading. But all this takes time. That's actually one of the things that's really good about Project Zomboid, is the base building side of it is actually really solid. It's got some weird quirkiness to it, especially with the isometric considerations. But that said, you can just go in the woods, and as long as you can get a hold of the nails and a saw, you can build an entire, like, civilization out in the woods. Back on Project Zomboid? Yeah, this is for the community server. Realistically, for me playing solo Project Zomboid, I do hop in from time to time, but generally speaking, you know, you're probably not going to see me playing a bunch of Project Zomboid until Build 42. We're all just kind of sitting, waiting for Build 42 waiting room kind of thing. And that's just me trying to make clear what people should expect of the channel. I do variety stream, I always have been, and I definitely felt cornered in Project Zomboid for a while. So when it stopped making sense for me to stream it, I stopped streaming it. And to be fair, when I say I stopped streaming it, I was cutting back the time I was streaming it. But when Build 42 gets announced, I'll definitely be playing more of it for Build 42. It's just any game after several thousand hours, you eventually get to the point where you're like, you know what? Like, I'm not enjoying this as much anymore, which isn't bad game. Thousands of hours, an absurdly high amount of gameplay to get out of any game. I mean, on Steam, Project Zomboid is one of my most played games of all time. Path of Exile still beats it by a fair margin. which is a very different game. Okay. What's that server name? You can find all the information on the Discord. But you gotta join the Discord. It's got the password and all that stuff. And, you know, the reminder is, please don't share the Discord. I'm sorry, the Discord information is fine. Please don't share, like, the or I'm reading and trying to talk, and it's not working. Please don't share the server information, like the IP and password, outside of the Discord. I do want people to come to the Discord, because then if they're troublemakers, I can figure out who they are, I can ban them from the Discord, and if we have to change the password, we change the password. That kind of thing. But if people start, like, DMing the password and IP address to other people and all that sort of stuff, eventually it gets out to those who you don't want to have it. Plus, it's a way to get you to join the Discord, so that way when people go, hey, Rual's not streaming today, how could I know about this? Like, oh, you can check the schedule. Or, I mentioned it on the Discord. I do get that people have a billion Discords they're part of. It's where I put all the information to try and help that. Do we have multiple helicopters on? Yes, it is set to sometimes. Because when you have just one helicopter, it can kind of make things stale after a while. But I don't have it set to, like, often, so it is about once a month the helicopter rolls through. What am I working on out here? I mentioned I wanted to build, like, a community out here. Like, as a long-term goal, like, build ourselves a town. We've had at least 3 helicopters so far. That doesn't surprise me. Well, actually, you smash the door, is that... If you smash a door, is that building player built then? No, when you destroy a door, it shouldn't. If you start building doors and all that. Prevents loot respawn? Yeah, it does. So, Dusty, when a helicopter happens, the way it works in multiplayer is a helicopter event happens on the server, and the helicopter fairly randomly chooses a person to follow around, and it follows around for some period of time, and then after that, it will, you know, after some period of time, it will choose a different person and follow them around, and it'll do that until, like, you know, it's finished the event or whatever. Okay, so I put down 17 bags of gravel, slowly building the road out to the distance. I'm going to drop the bag real fast here, that way I'm not overburned. And then I'll rest. And then once we're recovered, I'll make my way back to town. But yeah, so the idea is to build the road that goes out there, and then we can start... I mean, we can start building the buildings out there before the road's done. There, we have the bound journal. Rual's diary. That's right, I went with diary, not journal. For those who don't know, because multiplayer can get super janky at times... we do have the bound journal mod. Basically what this lets me do is I can choose to transcribe my skills. So if I go like this, my character's basically writing down their skills in this book. And then if I were to die, I could then get the book back and read it. And I get my skills back. But it does take time to write them down. It does take time to read them. I don't do this kind of thing. You know, it's like, I don't do this kind of thing when I'm playing solo rounds. But multiplayer, you have all sorts of weird, janky things that can happen. So, to me, it's a completely reasonable thing to have for multiplayer purposes. Shouldn't that be done? Okay. So that just means now if I were to die, I just have to retrieve my diary, and then I can read it to get stuff back. But it also remembers, like, the recipes you've learned and all that kind of stuff. Wait, that's say I've only got, like... I only have 6.82 nimble skill. Oh, goodness. I did not realize my nimble skill was that far behind. Oh, there's the setting for fitness and strength as well? Gotcha. I'll have to look into that. Because I don't mind that being there. We added the mod and I didn't see a lot of places to do that stuff. It's not accurate. You don't know why it's so low? I have no idea. To be fair, I haven't fought a whole lot. So it wouldn't surprise me if my character's stats are extremely lacking. And we're slowly curing our depression by taking our stale potatoes. Wait, do they like rot right now? Oh no, I must have finished them. By taking our stale potatoes and just cutting them up and putting them in a bowl. That's how you cure depression in Product Zomboid. All you gotta do is dice up your food and use the bowl. Or stir fry. It doesn't matter which. Product Zomboid's just weird in the, for every additional ingredient you use cooking something, it gives you more happiness as long as they are different ingredients. So, if I put potato in a bowl, and then I put, like, an onion in a bowl, I get way more happiness. If I put potato and potato and potato in a bowl, I actually become more unhappy. Or more bored, I think, is technically what happens. But, because you gain a little bit of happiness for putting an item in a bowl, you could just put raw potato in a bowl. And eat that, and you're happy. And then add a little bit more raw potato in a bowl, and eat that, and be happy. And hit peak happiness eating raw potato from a bowl. No seasoning, no cooking, no other ingredients. Just potato. And it's not something special about potato, it's literally any vegetable, it's just potato's the one people tend to use because they have the longest shelf life. Alright, so we got a decent number of zombies on the south side of the road between, like, where the boot camp is and, Lake Fallis. A couple are by the gas station. Because we do have zombie respawn on, and especially with the helicopter event, that's actually one of the things I like about the helicopter event, especially in multiplayer being repeated. You can get to a point where town feels just safe, as it were. Oh, for warning people here, like, this is fine. Let's see, does this count as inside? Oh no, they fixed it. Okay, this is fine. It used to be when you put that on the pad, it counted this as indoors for who knows what reason. And the way you could tell is your temperature would spike up about 5 degrees all at once. So you could literally die of monoxide poisoning standing on the small platform next to the generator. They fixed it though, it looks like, which is good. I know they reworked this part of the map a while back. There's a few places that was a problem. We are on the unstable branch. Honestly, I believe the either the unstable or the stable branch would probably work. Not that I've particularly checked it myself. Might depend on which gas station you're at. This is true. I thought that gas station there was one of the ones that was a problem. But I'm also not sure. So we're going to make ourselves a fancy salad. Wants to trade with me. Okay. Right, because you said you made something, and I was traveling. Oh, and it has to be in your main bag, I believe. It's weird. Oh, thank you. We have a happy birthday cake. Kira's made us a happy birthday cake. I can't really see the ingredients. I see it has strawberries. I think that's some type of berry. Like Hips gummy bears. I didn't know you could add gummy bears to well, we're gonna eat that right now. Whole thing. Yeah, yesterday was my birthday, so thank you so much for making me a birthday. Like, I think, is that actually a cake in the game? I can't see what that actually is. I think it's a cake. I've very genuinely, I've only made a cake one time in my entire time playing Project Zomboid. Yeah, it's a cake. Gotcha. I was trying desperately to remember. It's like, is that what the cake model looks like? Either way, like, thank you. That's very touching and also really fun. Yeah, it's cake without frosting. I don't think Project Zomboid has frosting, though. And Pretty Pictures on their 40 stream streak, 4-0. Doing a heck of a lot of tuning in the channel, so it's much appreciated. So we got gun stuff. Just checking out the organization. Oh, I actually have a lot of plaster in there. But yeah, so thank you, Pretty Pictures, for the 40 stream streak. I really do appreciate it. It means a whole lot. I'm being distracted by so many things. But yeah, too many input. Too much input, brain cannot handle. But yeah, so thank you so much for that. I hope you enjoy your extra 450 points. Okay. And I'm going to go with the shelving strategy we've been using for the sacks and the gravel, which is to go over here and just dump them all on the ground out front. And I need to have our character eat stuff. No, we can make our salad happier. Can I make my salad happier? Yeah, we can add a stale radish to it. That'll make it a little bit better. A little better. We're making a proper salad. And we already added, what is, I don't even know what that is.
Thank you, Pretty Pictures, for subscribing for 16 months.
Thank you, Pretty Pictures.
More points rules to give, please.
Thank you, Pretty Pictures, for the Prime Gaming sub. I really do appreciate that. And at 16 months, you've been subbed to the channel, so I really appreciate that as well. A year and 4 months, that's a hecking long time, so thank you so much for that continued support. It means a whole heck of a lot. As a reminder, because just in case it wasn't clear, Prime Gaming subs don't actually count for the points for the plus thing. It's only tier 1, 2, and 3 you buy for yourself. Prime and gifted subs don't count. That's not me saying that, that's Twitch saying that. Just to be clear. That said, I still absolutely appreciate any and all support we get. No, they give oh, they give you channel points? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yes. No, they do give you channel points. This is correct. So pipes are only used to bludgeon zombies with, so I'm perfectly happy taking, like, one of those as a weapon. Yeah, just making sure that was... Because, like, my brain's still in the plus program push. That's just making sure people realize that. Because that is one that people do get confused, because Twitch had to make things complicated. My points. Not yours. Mine. Yep. Alright. So let's not be too greedy on the nails. That's more than I wanted. That's fine. Grab those. I can make some rip sheet happen. Or not. It looks like these buys had... Well, actually, I killed some zombies out in the distance, so we can just go ahead and go for those. Alright. But basically, I'm going to keep working on trying to get stuff moving over on that other area. Yeah, should give me more enough sheets off of this body. Gotcha. You know, I'm pretty... Sunny Cuckoo is mentioning that there's rip sheets in the back wall. I'm pretty bad about a lot of that stuff. I do see, as a random question, that van here, did that set off the car alarm? Or did that have a car alarm on it? Because when I messed with the server at first, we went there and it had a car alarm. And that, you know, we got set off kind of thing. Ah, yes. All of the broccoli I left here, the cabbage, and just produce for days in there that all went bad because it's like, yeah, this is too much. It's going stale so fast. Well, I mean, the thing to consider with, like, the raid stuff is going bad and whatnot, is that we've had people on pretty close to 24/7 and it's on the defaults. So if you think about the fact that a day is about an hour long, and, you know, 24 days are going by per day just about, they add up pretty quick. So which... Your crops have flies? Yeah, I haven't been working on them at the moment. Just because I maxed out the stuff and we've got so much produce everywhere. And I have been taking the time, the ones that I see that have flies, I'll remove them. Taking the time to make, like, the proper treatment of them ends up being a whole thing. You mean the blue van was there? Yeah, it had an alarm. Yep. No, because that was the one we opened it, the alarm went off, and the server had, like, a restart when I was testing something. And, like, I saw it, like, got the window back, like, you know what I'm not doing? I'm not hitting that window. So, of these vehicles, because people mentioned that I could use a car, of these vehicles, like, which is one that people aren't using? Like, I don't need anything special. Because I see some of these cars are in, like, really great shape, so I'm assuming people have, like, claim on where they're... Because the update with basements hasn't dropped yet, has it? It's been a while since you played Project Zomboid. No, it has not dropped. We also don't know when it's going to drop. The vague... Like, they've been eluding the black car is free? Gotcha. Thank you. But yeah, they've basically been alluding to it's going to be this year sometime. Okay. You drove to Riverside and back, and it's I doubt it'll go very far. It happens. But yeah, and the reason we're not racing around too much, like I don't care what other people do, but other drivers won't show on the minimap. So I'm gonna try and stay in my lane, as it were. That's exactly, at least it's this year, not longer. So the one thing to keep in mind when you're talking about Indie Stone is Indie Stone 100% fits in the "it's ready when it's ready" group. That if they don't feel it's where it should be, it won't get released until they're happy with it. Just as a heads up, that is stuff that they have done in the past plenty. That happened a lot with Build 41, where they just kept pushing back when they're going to deliver it. What they delivered was amazing, so I actually prefer that method of development over, you know, this is our deadline, we're just gonna knock it out, you know, fix it in post kind of thing. I'd much rather have them, you know, take their time, get it right in the first go, because I actually think that's one of the things that a lot of devs get wrong, is that they just try and do an extremely fast iteration cycle, and they don't stop and, like, evaluate and get it right, and then they end up alienating their audience. They end up having stuff like bricked saves and all that. So I really do like the way Indie Stone approaches things. That said, I do think it'll be this year, but that was, I don't remember what my original prediction I was telling people was. Because I remember it was a whole thing. So it's been over a year and a half now that we got Build 41. And I remember it was a thing that, like, we got Build 41, it was right around the holidays, and people were like, oh man, I can't wait till Build 42 comes out. Do you think it'll be out in July? I was like, there's no way in hell it's out in July. Alright, I do see someone has already begun building a building here. Awesome. You mind the long wait? Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. So what do we got built so far? Okay, so it's mostly got an enclosed space, what could eventually be like a closet or bedroom, bathroom, that kind of thing. So got a nice basic floor plan. They've already managed to grab themselves a wood fire stove. So when it comes to people building houses, just try not to crowd people too much in case they have plans to build that. So like where this house is, I would say don't build any closer than maybe here. So like leave a gap. So one, we can get vehicles in between, we can make a road if we want to, that kind of thing. Hey, Bentley. I just realized should have grabbed a bunch of these logs on the way up. Use stakes to properly form boundaries. I don't think we necessarily need to go to that level. Like I do think it's worth taking the time. Probably keep the side to the lake open. Gotcha. So, yeah, if someone's nearest to the lake, don't build between them and the lake. Like, it's basically give people room. Like, don't box them in. Like, if it happens, it happens. Looks like a lot of things happen at the multiplayer server. Oh, people have been, like, very genuinely playing like on the product Zomboid server pretty consistently since we launched it. I only see it rarely drop below a couple of, like, just, you know, 2-3 people or whatever. Well, no, sorry, they only need the table and chairs that they plan on eating in their homes. But yeah, no, you should definitely have a table and chairs if you're going to eat in your home. That's just... Look, it's just not safe. You just don't eat without table. I also low-key look forward to seeing how people decorate their homes. Because if you go and you build your own home and all that kind of stuff, you know, you can do the stuff where you plaster your walls, so you can paint them different colors. You can go to, like, you know, the 50s diner and get, like, the checkerboard tile and, like, you know, checkerboard tile your kitchen or whatever. Like, it does open possibilities. I'll sneak to your house. Careful. I'll do what I want. It's my world. Yeah, I think right here is where I'll begin. Oh, I have to actually open my boxes of nails. Right. Oh, I need more carpentry. I'm sorry. My 0 carpentry is not enough to begin. My apologies. We can fix that. We'll just keep dropping this here. Yeah, so I don't think it's a bad idea when people are, like, when you go to build, when you're driving in and out, there's tons of logs just laying about where we've been clearing the route. Just take a minute to, you know, grab some of those. Okay. What's my carpentry at? Not very far. Sawing these up will actually give me some carpentry. Metalwork vent stuck in the middle, you can't interact with it? Weird. How do you global chat? You hit enter, you type \all, and then you type in what you want. And then once you've done it, you'll be in all, and then you can, you know, to switch to just saying stuff locally, you \say. Anyone on toilet paper? Alright. I can hit enter and use tab to cycle through chat? Okay. Yeah, so basically, until I get enough, until I get enough carpentry to start building floors, I'm gonna need a ridiculous amount of planks anyways. So I can just start sawing up planks to get my first point in carpentry. It's not really costing me anything. It's just doing stuff in a little bit of a different order of operations. I'm not gonna wander around that. Yes, a skill. Carpentry's just shy of halfway there. Okay, so let's drink some contaminated water real quick. Oh, one of the settings I did change is I did make it so light bulbs will last forever. So if you do take the time to put a light on your house, and power it, you don't have to replace the light bulbs like every third day or nonsense, because that stuff drives me up the wall. That is one thing I remember hating about when I was on my LNS run, was every other day going back to my base and replacing the light bulbs because 2 or 3 of them would burn out. Gotcha. Thanks, Vitez. You can actually get away with drinking the contaminated water as long as you don't drink too much at one time. It's really weird. Oh, do not bottle the contaminated water and drink it, though. For whatever reason, drinking contaminated water straight from the source isn't as bad as containering it and then drinking it. Okay, it's trying to find the next set of logs. So let's see. So how can you get gravel to help with the road? So if you take the sacks that we left out front of the house, and you go anywhere that has gravel on the ground, you can, I think you need a shovel as well. You can, like, right-click and choose, like, pick up gravel or whatever. And then once you do it once, it can just go from spot to spot. I think each bag holds, like, 4 tiles worth. So that's one way. Or you can, explore... There's a bunch of different places to get gravel as well. Like certain warehouses will have gravel, that kind of thing. Those are the 2 ways to do it. But yeah, usually it's fine to place as a bunch of gravel you don't care about, and then just picking up all the gravel, because all it does is it changes the gravel to dirt. It's like some of the farmhouses will have buildings that just are surrounded by a giant area of gravel, and you're just like, I don't care about this. So you just go and take it. But yeah, so then you just want to take something that's got some high capacity cargo, drive to like wherever, scoop up a bunch of gravel, drive over here, put it down, drive back to the place, and just do laps. It's why it's good to have a ton of bags, like however much you can fit in your vehicle. Because you have a ridiculous number of bags, then it ends up being not that big a deal. Okay, we're about not quite 2/3 the way up on our carpentry. So probably one more lap of planks, maybe 2. And then we should have enough skill. Okay. Actually, let's go sit directly up against the water. Now recover our endurance. And then we're going to switch over to chopping trees down and doing the carpentry. And the reason for that is at least with the trees, I'm gonna have to clear that area anyways, so it'll be doing 2 things at once. Oh, sorry, stretching. What I'm gonna do is a not smart thing that you shouldn't do, which is, first of all, I'm gonna tell my character to start writing in their book. Oh, you won't be sitting down, you'll stand up to do that. That's fine. Which I'm gonna quickly go and grab myself a new drink, because I, 1, need to stretch, and 2, I need more to drink and finish my drink. So that'll help out with that. But the reason I'm saying I shouldn't do is normally you shouldn't sit out in the open, especially in a multiplayer server where you can't pause, and not be at the computer where you can defend yourself. But I'm going to do that real fast, and I'll be back here in just a minute. So thank you again for tuning in. Alright, let's open the door behind us. That's not the way I wanted to run. I wanted to run back this. Am I gonna weasel by at the... Oh, right. Let's see, the main road into West Point is definitely spicy. With respawns, everything is always spicy. Yeah, with the respawns, it'll never be safe. There'll definitely be places that people frequently clear out that should be safer, but it should definitely never be safe. That is one of those things that's a bit different between playing on multiplayer and playing solo. Is playing on multiplayer, like, unless you're only talking like 2-3 people playing together, you almost really have to have respawns, or you just start wiping out the map. Unless you're doing something like absurd, like the goal is to wipe out the entire map on 16 times pop with like 30 people. Which I've seen people start those runs, but what I've seen in the past is as you do more and more of the map on those kinds of settings, eventually the server starts getting pretty unhappy with it. You know, now I think about it, I haven't seen many like marathon servers, as in, what I'm talking in this case is like a server that remains up long term, that people, you know, slowly build and participate and do more and more in. It usually feels like a server will go up and it'll last several weeks, a month, maybe 2-3 months, before it'll do some kind of reset or wind down or something. For Project Zomboid, to be clear. And I think that does make sense, because once you start getting, like, people start getting military backpacks, and you built yourself a house, or, like, secured a base, you kind of have to just come up with other things, like, run around with. It's the same thing with, like, regular Project Zomboid. That, like, kind of once you've secured all the things you need to survive, you kind of scratch your head and go, but now what? And you can come up with things, like, get all the plushies, find, like, the best clothes, whatever your individual thing ends up being. But it is one of those things that's not always clear, like, what to do with that. And also, we had a couple of subs and all that. While a character is recovering, let me go to my dashboard. What do we have for events? We've had a sub. Gotcha. Alright, so while we're recovering our endurance, for those who don't know, and I know the Zoom's going to be busted on this, so let me go ahead and get this sorted out. For those who don't know, I do a thing on the stream where for every sub and 100 biddies, I add a piece to a Lego kit. And we recently finished the Lego kit we had been working on, which ended up being the Perseverance rover. And we got a new one started. So let me go ahead and knock out that Lego piece while we're waiting here anyways. And we'll get back to it. Alright, so we finished that step. And I need... That should be an easy piece to find. There you are. Okay. And little by little, let's get her. What about a market day? I don't know what you mean by a market day. Just What do you mean by market day? All right. So we're probably not fully recovered, but I'm going to see what we could do here. We'll definitely want to get lights in the area. So that way we're not just standing here in the dark. So that'll be one thing, is we'll definitely want to go to like some of the farmhouses or houses that people don't care about, like steal their patio lights and all that.
Yay. A day where people bring goods and sell to whoever might need them.
Oh, you mean in Project Zomboid? That requires you to have some type of currency on your server, which some servers do have economy mods and all that. We don't. You can also barter and trade, but generally I prefer the servers to run more like cooperative, where you're not just trying to like all compete for resources and all that. But yeah, that's not a bad idea for like a server. I don't imagine, because like I feel like that's a server you set up with the intentions of having an economy right from the beginning. That way you have, you know, whatever your currency, like your de facto currency, your barter trade or whatever. Like I know I've seen ones where they use like the nails as a thing. Yeah, no, we've already been sharing and all that. This is not a capitalistic society. Instead of constantly trying to one-up each other and, you know, deny each other their basic needs for our own benefit, we have been working collaborative. So yeah. But which isn't like anything. It's just we're playing on Project Zomboid collectively. But yeah, but thank you for the 100 biddies. I really do appreciate that. Doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. It does mean I do own another Lego piece, but generally what I'll do is when it's like one Lego piece or whatever, I'll wait a little while, see if we have others pop in, and then I'll worry about it. That way it's not always things that's super disruptive where it's like play the game for 5 minutes, go do a Lego piece, and then just like go back and forth and do nothing else. Usually I will wait till either a couple Lego pieces group up or Tier 100, now you owe 2. I do not, because you didn't do it right.
Now you owe 2, yay.
You are correct. Now I do owe 2. Thank you, Strider, for another 100 biddies. Alright, so it should start lighting up a little bit soon. I will say, for people, if you have like an idea you have for a building that's going to take up some space, it's probably a good idea right at the beginning to start putting down like the floor first, just be like kind of grid out saying here's the area I'm planning on taking kind of thing. Just so others, when they look at it, they're like, oh, I understand. Or if you're doing something that you don't want to have the flooring there, do something that's very clearly denoting this is the area, like whether it's a fence post on each of the corners, just something to make it clear what is there. Hey Sam, I'm having a good one. Oh, no problem. Absolutely, feel free to view from the shadows. Lurkers absolutely make all these platforms work. People are like, yay, light! Alright. Okay, we're at the level of exertion that this is a problem. I guess while I'm here. Let me make 2 more stone axes. And I don't know what the like garbage collection server settings are. I know product Zomboid by default does have a thing where it will clear up objects just dumped on the ground eventually. But I don't know, like I know hats and sunglasses and stuff like that, it just culls, you know, based on time. But I do know there's a thing where if the server starts to get overloaded, it can cull items left on the ground or like various other things. I don't know what any of that's set to or whatever. So my only caution is if you do dump, like it's, to be clear, it's the difference between placing and dropping things. Placed items tend to stay and all that. Reusing corpse as trash can, that's basically where it's going to go with it. So for stuff like that, it's good if you have bodies to use those as trash cans because when they just, you know, when they decay, it goes away. I always have mixed feelings about what to do with the, there's a server setting and whether or not people can put stuff in trash cans and hit delete all. Because on one hand, it's really useful to do that. On the other hand, if someone does pop in and troll, they could do a lot of damage really fast that way. They can just go to your bookshelf, go to the trash can, hit delete all, and just suddenly all your books are gone. Versus, I don't know. The zombies still let you delete stuff, but at least you have to take the time to do that. We'll see. If it becomes a problem, maybe we'll open up the trash can some. Hey, carpentry 1. Well, we might as well still keep sawing the logs up. But I can start putting down some floors. Oh, trash can delete is on already? Gotcha, I thought it was off. That's fine, as long as you don't run into problems. Couldn't the admin spawn more books? Yeah, but that's an easy one versus like if someone goes to your tool shelf and deletes all the tools. Okay, unless someone kept an inventory of what tools we had, I could spawn more stuff in, but you know, now there's a question of like, did I give us too much? Did I give us not enough? Did I give us the things that we actually earned? You know, that kind of stuff. It can spoil the fun of the game. Or like for other things, like, you know, what was your food situation? Granted, we don't have to worry about food that much. But you get where that's going is, you know, that level of trolling. And if nothing else, it can be very inconvenient because there's not like a spawn one of every book. It means the admin has to sit there for like half hour being like, make book 1, make book 2, make book 3, make book 4. Go through all like 70 or 80 books. Trigger part of town to respawn loot, and go get it. Well, yeah, no, that's, we already have loot respawn turned on. That's a normal multiplayer setting you do. Most of the time. Like, again, it's one thing if you're dealing with just, like, 2-3 friends, that kind of thing. That is far more... Like, that can make that nowhere near as big of an issue. But, yeah. No, the runs are fun. No, absolutely. That's the reason we have the respawn on, but it's the loot respawns once a week. In-game week. Then there's the fact that a person might not be truthful and play one over. Oh, that's not as hard, Darth. The game server does keep a log of most things. So, like, if someone did go and maliciously delete everything, more than likely I'd be able to figure out who did it based on the items that went missing and all that. I'd have to actually look at the logs, what they contain. So I would be able to deal with that. But if I did have someone say, hey, I had 20 crowbars and someone deleted them all, and, like, escalated to the point that they got, you know, an admin involved to deal with it, I could look and be like, yeah, you are absolutely lying through your teeth. And that kind of thing. You know, if it was a joke, like a 2-second joke, but if they actually had, you know, people taking the time to, like, look through logs for it kind of thing, I would ban those people. Because that's taking away time that I could be working on a million other productive things. And no, so going, it's just a prank, bro, doesn't mean I wouldn't ban them for it. gosh, it gets a sense of humor. It's just a prank, bro. I get amazed at the stuff that people try and do, like, be like, oh no, it's just a prank, it's no big deal. That, like, it'll be something like pretty extreme. It'll be like, no, it's just a prank, man. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? And it's like, yeah, I just ran over your dog, man. Just a prank, bro. It's like, no, it's not a prank. That's definitely way past an acceptable prank. Yeah, and they'd be right to be a band. Oh yeah, no. Anyone who makes a big colossal pain of work for me that it's not for a good reason, that's a thing. Like, to be clear, like saying, hey, would you consider adding this mod or changing it? That's fine. Like, that's all fine. Because I could also be like, no, I'm not going to. Which would be absolutely A-okay. But the person who does pop in and's like, yo, I had this person, they did this awful thing, could you look into it? And then it's like, very clearly, you look at the logs, you're like, well, you weren't even in the same place. Like, you're making crap up. You know, that's a bunch of work. That means I'm not editing YouTube videos. I'm not planning things out for the channel. Like, it very truly does negatively impact things because it wastes my time. Yeah, no, I would absolutely not respond well to that. All right. And I've got an idea for a basic floor plan I want to do. We'll see how it works out when I'm actually, you know, building the walls and all that. But yeah. And since someone said he stole, you know, he found him in 1.5 hours. Also, I died 3 or 4 times. Yeah. I wonder, can I make the chair yet? No, wood sign. I was gonna see if I could make a chair, just put a chair by the water. Just to be able to sit, but, you know, have a public chair to sit down in. It was not funny. Yeah. But like I said, it's one of those things. It ends up being like this big admin thing. You're like, oh no, like someone's genuinely had a problem on the server. Let me look into this. You know, people's items going missing is a big problem. And then you realize they're trolling you and you're like, that's not funny, man. You just made me waste a half hour to an hour of my life. Okay. And I will say, if there's any items that you very particularly want to keep for yourself, you'll want to put those in your safe house. I do understand the houses we're building out here won't qualify for becoming safe houses, because with the way multiplayer works, they won't even be recognized as houses, like, or buildings at all. Like, you'll still have the temperature change if they're interior and yada yada yada. But yeah. Okay. Is hungry? Well, then eat something. Let's see, you can ask admins to make your house a custom safe zone. You do that all the time on a server. You run custom homes to make sure they're also protected. So the question I have is, what does that entail from the admin side? If it's not a big deal, I wouldn't necessarily have a big problem with it. If it is something that's like, you know, a pretty significant effort, then I probably would not be willing to do it. Because the classic thing of, you know, we're running the server, we're having a good time. I don't expect this to be like for an ever server or whatever. it's just something fun we're doing a couple days. Like, I mean, the server's up the whole time, but I'm playing it a couple days a week and whatever. It ends up being like a huge hassle. All right, so we don't continue doing this right now because I could read the next carpentry book. Incredibly easy. It's just standing near the zone you want to make a safe zone. Run to the other corner of the home and say make safe zone. All done in game, takes a few seconds. Ah, gotcha. But then I have to put myself on the like an admin account. I've been trying to avoid making my character an admin. If I have to, I have to. Just because once you make yourself an admin, every single time you join the game, you have to take him in and be like, invincibility off, invisibility off, you know, all these kind of things. If I have to do it, I have to do it. That's fine. But thus far, I've been avoiding it. Because for the record, me running multiplayer servers is not a normal thing on the channel. Generally speaking, I don't run much in the way of multiplayer servers. This was something special as a thank you for the community being so generous the other month. Because mostly I don't like dealing with all the administrative overhead. You know, especially, honestly, the worst issues for me aren't even stuff like that. The worst issues for me is like when two people who both parties are innocent, but you know, they get upset by each other. Like something happens, there's a miscommunication, wherever they get upset with each other, and then you gotta kind of, you know, run attrition between them and be like, all right, you know, who do I need to tell someone to drop it, you know, and like get over it kind of thing? Is there like someone who actually was the more wrong of the two? Is it just a misunderstanding that hopefully people back down and we don't have to have a whole big thing out of it? All right. And those can be just kind of an annoying thing, because it also can basically hurt your community when that kind of stuff happens. If you do have people who are a bit, you know, headstrong about things, that you can like lose viewers that way, which is not like, honestly, if a viewer is going to be a butthead about stuff, I don't really worry about losing that viewer too much. You got a military backpack? You go see if you find more? Oh, are you where are you at? Gotcha. Cool, cool. Yeah, so you're at the military checkpoint getting them. Alright. Let's go to read our book. We're going to update our journal. Ooh. North Ekron is starting to get some pretty sizable hordes at it. I saw at least 2 or 3 decent-sized rally groups just next to the gas station. Like, full rally groups. 16 zombies. You were just there? Yeah, more than likely if people ran back and forth, it's just we've been slowly drawing them out of the trees. Which happens. Just as we drive around, we'll make noise and draw zombies that are on the fringes. Looks like we got a bunch of gravel here, too. Excuse me. Sir. Don't be rude. Yeah, I'm really exerted, aren't I? That's fine. Not sure what he's doing. Oh, he's just ceasing to exist. Oh. Yeah, I was about to do the same thing as take the body out in the middle of the road. Let's make sure we're more. Looks like we're all clear. Okay, it does sound like Tomb is home. And for those who don't know, it is a thing right around 9 o'clock EST, my time. That usually what I'll do is I'll take a quick, like, 5-minute break, welcome my wife home, do all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is a 5-minute break is probably longer than I should just leave my character logged in while I'm not at the game. So what's going to end up happening, I'm going to take a quick like 5-minute break, you're going to go ahead and see clips and all that, but I am going to log off the game during that time frame and get some music going so we don't die while I'm doing that. And I will be back here in just a couple minutes. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back here in just a couple minutes. No. I'll just... Bentley, be ready to get the heck out of Dodge. Because everyone else is expendable. If Bentley goes down, the run ends. That is not good. Bentley, keep running, buddy. Yeah, we just killed our run. Because mechs never leave. Yep. Yep, when they broke the door, that kind of just screwed us. Because, I mean, I should have dropped back here and bottlenecked them there. It's too little too late now. They're fully surrounded. Oh, well. This run has been taking way too long to do anything anyways, so I'm not super upset that it's ending. It's been a long time coming. We had a marble meteorite just strike a duck and kill it. Okay. I get it. I get it, Cassandra. You didn't like that duck in particular. That duck in particular was a duck you decided did not deserve to live anymore. This duck, Duckling 11, Cassandra, not a fan. Just really didn't like the way the beak looked. There's something about it just really irked her. Arrived. Welcome, Cookie.
Hello, sentient cookie. Ooh.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard Tomb like say ooh I can think of. It's probably happened before, but like that, I mean.
I don't just want to.
Yeah, she doesn't just walk around and go,
I like it. Ew, ew. Oh, no.
she's like, ew, get it away. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I feel dirty. Stop it. What? Sure. There we go. It's kind of wiggling to get the trailer to shift, and then turning the wheel straight so I have less resistance. Once I get over this hill, it's going to be so much easier, but we got to get over the hill first. Come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah, no, we already knew we need a new tractor. I just don't have the money for it. But my hope is that this is the money for it. Oh, I just realized something. How am I going to get onto that plate? If that little incline is too much for us? Because that plate is raised. I mean, I guess we're just going to try and go for it. Momentum, carry me. Actually, it doesn't look like it's going to be that big a deal. I'm hoping. And we're starting to sell the mushrooms. Alright. Hey, train, could you not? Hey, train, please. Train. No. This is not my stop, train. I don't want to go this way. Let me free. Alright, so we're going to... Oh, God. And we just need to straighten it out and everything will be fine. Alright, I'm gonna do something I know is not gonna end well, but I'm gonna be cursed until it happens. Okay. Trees are the real enemy. Never trust a tree. They will betray you at your moment of weakness. They will look you in the eyes as you reach forward and say, please help me, and they will spit on your hand and slap it away and watch you fail. And by that I mean a zombie will walk through and grab you and bite you in the face. But, you know, sometimes you got to just talk it up a little. That I perhaps have underestimated you. That's on me. That was disrespectful. I should have given you more credit. Credit where it's due. You are definitely still a menace and you're still threatening. But not you. She's a jerk. Well, it's spring and summer. Let's get this planted. Because that is the season we are in. That's literally what I'm growing right here as well. It's fine. The tree's gone. We don't get to have this tree. Oh, wait. Hang on. No, stop it. Alright, let's be real careful with this. I'm not on my wheels. Nope, 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 nope. I didn't see there was a cross guard there, and I was able to drive like right over it. That's okay. We've done this before. Hey, Car, you wanna do me a solid, buddy? No, don't go anywhere. I need you. I don't actually need you, but I can't see what I'm doing because of the light. That's like I see them stuck in the post, and I could probably move this around to get free from it, but I can't really make out what's happening here. Eat a potato. Eat a potato. Too late. And it is done. Jeremiah Wiener has finally passed at 1 year, 4 months, 12 hours, 135,120 zombies killed. At the end, we had managed to reach 8 fitness, 9 strength. Yeah, but I was just kind of showing, I talked about like putting like a giant pile of bodies to try and ramp, but you can see where you can get some pretty good air. Ah, that hurts. That was just 1 second. Like here, I'm assuming someone got a clip of it. If you have a clip of it, let me know and I'll permit you. And yeah, let's roll the dice. 60% chance that things don't go terribly, 40% chance that they do go terribly. Yeah, let's push the button. Boom, they died. There we go. Just had to top it off. Okay, I guess we're going this way. This is cursed, please. Well, that was lovely. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. Okay, I am back. I do apologize, that was a longer break than I expected it to be. Tim was already working on food, but I have cookie cake. It happens to be a cookie cake with butterflies on it. Not for anything like specific. I'm not like huge on butterflies, but it's what the cookie cake had on it because that's what was available, and I have no problem with butterflies. So, you know, that is what it is. I'm going to hide my screen for just a moment. We're popping back at a server so that I'm not showing IP addresses. Not only that, because I would be showing IP addresses not only for my server, but like 2 other content creators and all that stuff, so. Okay. Now share with the class. I will share the description of the cookie cake. It is chocolate chip, very brown sugary. I'm actually not going to eat it right away. We have, she's reheating the calzone we got the other day. because the calzone place near us, their calzones are like a large pizza that's on put ricotta cheese and then just folded over, said it's a calzone now. So it is obnoxiously large. With butter and flies on top, yep. Oh, that's some thick icing. Okay, I was gonna just pull off the butterfly and show you, but I was like, oh, that is... I could pick up the whole thing and it's still not giving up that butterfly. Alright, I'll worry about that when I get there. Alright. And as a reminder, for the stream, we'll do about half the stream. That will be probably on the Project Zomboid multiplayer server, and then the second half of the stream we'll do something else. I don't have a specific thing in mind for what the second half of the second half of the stream could be. It might be Kenshi, it might be Farm Sim. I was debating like getting Pacific Drive set up, and then I just forgot about it. Let's see. You missed that part about safe houses. What was the conclusion to that? Basically, if I log onto the server as admin, I can map out, like I can go in admin and say this is a safe house. But I have to set up my character to be an admin, log in as admin, and then like walk it out myself kind of thing. So it's a doable thing. And if it becomes necessary, it is something I could do. I've just been trying to avoid having to log in as admin, because then every single time I do stuff, I have to be like, turn off invincibility, you know, all that sort of stuff. And it could just kind of start to become a hassle. I just realized I should be reading the carpentry book while I'm sitting here. That's why I came back here in the first place. I just got distracted by the fact that, make a secondary character as admin? That's probably what I would do, is I'd make a secondary character. It's one of those things I could consider doing, like maybe after stream. Like, have it be one of those things that once a person has done enough with their house to make it, you know, to make it a house or whatever, I wouldn't have an objection with, like, after stream, I hop on for, like, 10-15 minutes, you know, go to one person's house, stencil out the house, okay, there's, you know, that person's house, go to the next house, like, just make it a thing, like, hey, you know, okay, Friday, I'm gonna stencil out the houses, if you want a house to be made yours, like, make sure you let me know which one is whose. I also want it to be, like, this regular chore that, like, while I'm streaming, it's like, oh, gotta go to the next person's house and deal with it, log back up, in and out. Just because it'd start to get disruptive. Not that I would do too, have an admin character for needed things. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The thing I don't know is I don't remember what I set the password to this character is, and there's no way to show it, so... You know, that could be a problem. Alright, so we'll knock out our carpentry book real fast. Still got some more potatoes. Okay, and we are on our way back out. Now, plan is along that road. There's all the logs we're gonna grab, you know. Sorry, we're gonna grab the some of the logs and toss them in the car. One, to get them out of the road, and then two, because we need the logs. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, north end of town is starting to get busy. But But that's the idea, is if people aren't in the area over a while, it should repopulate. And we'll be technically off-roading, so you don't want to drive fast on off-roading. It damages your wheels. What's the encumbrance on a metal barrel? It was either 25 or 35, something like that. It's pretty high. It's not so high you can't carry it, but it's high enough if you're not ready for it, it can be a problem. Oh, that's... I didn't realize the trunk of the car was full of food. Just casually sawing up some logs in the driver's seat, no big deal. Because I'm noticing I can't quite fit, like I'm not using the space efficiently at all because the logs are big individually versus I break them up into smaller pieces, they'll fit better. Okay. Oh, it's dropping him on the ground beneath me. That's annoying. It makes sense, but still annoying. Okay, so we'll just fill up all the seats of the car with planks. Yes, there'll be 2 more seats of the cars that'll fill up. Oh yeah, no, you're good, Donkey Duff. I didn't check. That's on me. Okay, so that'll save me a bunch of collecting logs. We're also getting them out of here. Grab these 2. I also probably should get a bigger backpack to make this a lot more elegant. Okay, so there'll be all 3 of the other seats of the car filled up. I can knock that out. Yeah, I believe 2 gets us enough we could start building the structure of our house. And continue getting that to work. Oh, and if you're wondering, like, oh, doesn't idling your car waste a lot of gas? No. Project Zomboid's weird in the idea that idling your car uses a negligible amount of gas. Like, really a negligible amount of gas. Whereas driving is very, very gas aggressive on how much it consumes. So very genuinely, you could kind of just like leave your car. You can leave your car idling for like a week before you have to actually worry about it running out of gas. In Project Zomboid, not at all like real life. So very genuinely, never panic about being separated from your car and being like, oh no, but I'm gonna waste a bunch of gas. Like, nah, you're good. All right, so we are starting to draw a couple zombies down the trail. Eventually, they will find their way to where we're living down here, and we'll definitely have to deal with them then. You can absolutely leave your car idling in real life for an equally long time. I've never tested it. I would be dubious on how long you can leave a car running idling before like gas and all that starts to become a problem. Well, sure, absolutely driving revs your engine up, you'll to burn much faster. But like the idea of leaving your car for like over a week just running in your driveway, I would expect it to run out personally. Because it'd be like the same as like a generator not on load. Those will still run out too. Now granted, your car has a much bigger gas tank than a generator, but still, it's not something I'd recommend. Okay. I didn't realize I made it part over. It's fine, I still gotta put flooring down this whole area. You know, I decided to use tile and all that, you have to put down the plank floor before you can put down the other floor. In Earthtown, around the base getting very crowded. Yeah, no, I noticed that as well. I think there's a lot of us driving back and forth, like the people going to and from West Point, me and Vita's driving to and from the hardware store here. I think all the cars passing through the area just like slowly drawing the zombies out of the trees and into that area. The gas station especially seems like it's getting a bit spicy. Alright, Strider. You sleep well. Thank you for hanging out. Alright. Let's see, how do you collect more gravel for the bags? I believe you need the bag and you need a shovel of some kind. I don't know like what restrictions the shovels have. But then I think you right click on the ground and say it's something like put gravel in bag or pick up gravel or something like that. I believe is how it works. I've done it before in the past, but it's been so long. But I'm pretty sure you right-click the ground, not right-click the bag. But I'm pretty sure you do have to have a shovel. Oh, I forgot to grab that gravel. I meant to grab it. Oh well, it's fine. Next trip. Hey, Jaywalker, how's it going? Using Discord on your phone, you keep hitting trees? Yeah, distracted driving. You don't know why? When you go into channels you aren't subbed, you get military recruitment ads? That doesn't surprise me. Not because of anything with you. It doesn't surprise me that the military is purchasing lots of ad time and ad space. No, the wizard's saying goodbye world. That either means they're going to bed or they're dying. They are dying. Guys are going on for a while for viewers in the US? Yeah. I honestly think the thing where they do try to specifically attract people, you know, playing first-person shooters and that into the military is one of those things that you're like, but honestly, maybe not the, you know, the type of person you want to target. Nothing saying anything wrong about people who play first-person shooter games, but like, you have to be really careful about like gamifying military stuff because you don't want your deployed military people to view like shooting the baddies as getting a high score or something. Like, gotta make sure you still acknowledge that, you know, these are people. But that's a whole big dialogue we don't really need to get into. I don't know. I personally feel like there should be very hard restrictions on effectively marketing military to minors and all that. Okay, cool. Vite has put a chair by the water. Because I had mentioned that earlier, that's like, oh yeah, you know, it'd be good to put one over there. Just that way, anyone who's building their house in the area before, like, they have furniture of their own, instead of, like, having to home invade each other to use the furniture to rest, there's just, like, you know, a public chair out there. Like, later on, we can make, like, a dedicated picnic area. Oh, and with how limited of water space we have, I would say probably no one build on the river itself. Or on the lake itself. There's not a whole lot of lake to build on. Like, it's one thing if we get together and be like, yeah, let's make a dock here. Cool. As long as we all, like, get together and decide that. Versus, I don't want someone to, like, make a dock or, like, a boathouse that covers half the lake and now it's, you know, barely a usable lake. You've got a picnic table? That'd be good. Set up a picnic area. Just find, like, maybe this side over here, we clear out the trees a little bit more, make, like, a little picnic area up here. You press sleep? Is that bad? No, you'll rest just like you would for recovering exertion. But yeah, you'll just be kind of stuck until it finishes. It's like you're hard committing to the full rest. It's a bit faster than if you were to just sit and rest in a chair. But yeah, there is the negative of you're asleep, so you can't defend yourself. You blame Cookie if you die? That seems reasonable. I see nothing wrong with this. Is me make clone join armor? They bring in the FPS gamers. You can move to exit sleep? Makes sense. But then you can't blame Cookie. Oh, it's the important things. Alright. David Lurk, Captain Insanity. Your strength level 4 that you grinded. Yeah, I will, after stream, I'll look into seeing about getting the fitness and strength added to the journal. Like I said, I added the mod but it didn't do any type of configurations for it. I gotta do the research on where I even find the configurations for it to make those changes. What are we building? I am building my home. Just gonna take a little time. Right now, I'm just trying to, like, map out the floor. You think sleeping is slower than rest sit? It might be. I was under the impression it's supposed to be faster, but the rest sit has always been kind of a weird, not exploit, but like weird, just combination of mechanics that really shouldn't work the way they do, but they do. Not judging people for doing it, it's just one of those things. It's like, it's weird to sit there and go, okay, I'm resting. Okay, but now I'm sitting and resting. This counts for extra. It's like, okay, well, sure, it does make sense if you're sitting and resting. Well, that's a bummer, Zidian. Yeah, according to what I had read on it, that was supposed to make it so you'd rest faster than if you just, did normal rest or whatever. Okay. Miss your blue dyed hair already. Oh, sorry about that. Those Lake Towns going to be individual houses? Yeah. I think that's the idea. That way everyone can have kind of their personal space to decorate how they want. I also understand there's going to be some people who are like, I really don't want to put the time in, which is totally fine. I had mentioned that I liked the idea for people who didn't want to do that. They could always, barter or trade with someone else saying, like, here's something I could do, like, help you out. Be like, oh, hey, if you go get me the nails, then I'll go ahead and take care of your house or whatever, that kind of thing. You were just pushing West Point and that went, well, not well. I mean, West Point is one of the highest density population areas of the whole map. Like when you get to the main part of West Point. Yep, power is out. I don't know how long they've been out, but they've been out since before I hopped on. Okay. Since yesterday in real life? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. With people being on the server almost 24/7, that means, roughly 24 in-game days go past per in-game day, and this is the third day the server's been running. So, that would imply that actually the power and water lasted for a decently long time. All right. You got the sledgehammer. Extra crowbars would be nice, though. Thank you, wifey. Love you. I love you more. I mean, you did make me a calzone. Okay. All right. So we're just chopping wood in the dark until I run out of axes. Which is not long, because I'm using stone axes, and they don't really last very long. They sometimes don't even make a whole tree. Come down. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. So I doubt this axe makes it through this tree. Well, that's the last of our axes. Just gonna chuck these in the trunk of the car, and then when we go back to town, I just need to remember to actually take those to zombie bodies for disposal. Grinding maintenance, though? Yep, that we are. Okay. I also like the idea, you know, it'd be fun that we're going to end up needing to do, is be able to see around here. We're going to have to make our own, like, street lights. So we could take, like, the outdoor lights that they put inside of areas and just, like, put, like, a little wall with a light on it to light this area up. I do think that's something we should probably have for working out here, kind of on the short list, is that people who get their homes here to pop up a light or two. Because we already have a generator down here that I saw. Because we definitely want to see what we can make with all that. And I deliberately did not grab that many nails. I think I grabbed a total of 4 boxes, which is not an insignificant number of nails. But considering there was like 18 boxes there, it's like, okay, I'll just grab like 4. I'll get to work with this. I can find more nails when we need to. Okay. Should be just about done rested pretty soon. Alright, so our carpenter 3, cooking 2, farming is maxed out, our foraging is about 3. Our strength is slowly climbing. Getting some maintenance going on. Okay, Lardine is warning that they died inside the base. In case anyone missed the memo. Alright. And this is effectively saving our skills. If I were to die, I could go and recover this book and get our skills back. This is just something I'm doing for the multiplayer server. I don't normally play this way. Alright, come on. I actually think it's... I was debating whether or not, like, the time it takes you to back up your skills, if that was a problem or not. I honestly think it's fine that kind of the longer you put off recording your skills, the longer it takes. And I also assume recovering your skills takes that kind of time as well. Not that it's, like, hugely laborious amount of time or anything like that, but it's at least enough time that you wouldn't want to just immediately die and go through it all over again. High maintenance lets you rearm off zombie cores as quick as you wear them out. It's around 3 or 4 if you're not picky of your weapons. If you're picky about your weapon types, then the weapon type becomes a major consideration. Like stuff like long blunt, short blunt, you'll be pretty pretty close around that same time frame. But if you want something like spears, you'll never catch up. Axes, probably close to like 7 or 8. But as long as you're willing to accept what weapon the zombie gives you, you know, like actual weapon, not like the crappy stuff like kitchen knives. It is around like 3 or 4 where you'll start noticing you'll get a surplus. You can start being a little bit more picky as time goes on. Hey, Tessa, how's it going? Oh, joy, it's dark. All right. And the next step, we'll start putting up the frames for our walls. As well as like our doors and all that. I do like the making like a little survival base out here. Just, you know, a post-apocalyptic city where we're running on generators and all that. You know, not using the existing houses, just to try and, you know, something different. I always like the creative side of these kind of games where you just see where people come up with. Alright, so that should complete my floor. Yeah, the green indicator on mushrooms means poisonous. I think if you actually mouse over the mushroom, it'll call it a poisonous mushroom or something like that. It'll be mushroom parentheses poisonous or something like that. If it says unknown mushroom, it means your character doesn't know one way or the other, which is when you don't have the herbalist. And if there's no indicator, then you're probably fine. Now we're starting to build our walls. I kind of wish, like, games like The Sims, this is how you built your walls as well. Like, not that you had to, like, cut down your trees or whatever. I mean, I'd be fine with that as well. But it would kind of be fun for a game like that, you know, instead of just, you kind of go plop, plop and a big square room drops, that you could have the option, notice I said option, not forced, you could have the option to turn around and be like, I want my people to actually build their home. Or even make it so you could cut down trees and make your own log, like planks and all that sort of stuff. Or, if you didn't want to do that, you could just, you know, call and order parts. Or you could, again, if you want, you could just basically pay someone to build it. Okay. Should be another one we chop down back here somewhere. How are we doing in our carpentry skill now? We should be making good progress. About 3.5. Didn't mean to cancel all that. So slowly but surely making our place a little bit nicer. But yeah, you could see, like, and you could build multiple floors and all that. Like, Project Zomboid, building your bases, like, they really give you so much power around this. And you just really don't see it used that much. Because, like, one, in a normal playthrough, you don't survive long enough for it to matter. Or, just, there's not much motivation to, like, just staying in one place. The last time I built a proper base in a run, was Ellen Ennis over by the gas station on the north side of Lake Fallis. I actually built a pretty big base that went, like, it went from just to the side of the gas pumps where my generator could reach the gas pumps from inside my perimeter, the far east gas pumps, all the way to it actually had, like, a little, like, fishing dock in the back of it. And it had, like, a whole display room with storage and everything for all my equipment and everything like that. Maybe you just build yourself like a community center. I mean, that would be totally fine. That's not a bad idea. You could have like the bottom floor be the community center and do like the gas station to the north side of town where just on top of it's like a little apartment. It's okay. We've made sure to mix zone this area. All right. Just taking a sip of the contaminated water. No big deal. An added bonus. Oh, you're gonna keep complaining about that forever, aren't you? Added bonus. This is considered deep woods and all that. So if people do turn to like trapping and fishing and all of that works really well here. I think for right now. And make a pile for branches over here, so when people need to make axes, we've got like the branch there, or spears or whatever. The twigs I'll just dump here for people to use as kindling. Is that forging 3? Yeah, okay. All right. So recover our endurance a little bit. Then I'll go ahead and transcribe my skills, chop down some more trees, make all that happen. Now, we did drink a decent amount of contaminated water, so we'll get a little sick, but that's okay. You always hear about that thing about, you know, poisoning yourself just a little bit makes you gradually become immune. That is only true for very select few things, and most of the time, consuming micro doses of poison will actually just have a cumulative effect that ultimately kills you. But hey, who needs to actually use logic? Like, we don't know what the contamination in this water is. It could be lead. Cumulative effect with like heavy metals is the thing that makes them dangerous, not the microdoses. You get a microdose of lead, it's no big deal. You get a lot of microdoses of lead, you die. It's the end of times, there's no more science? No, people still be sciencing. Sciencing is just understanding the world around you. That's all science even means. All right. Real world dinner was remembered and eaten? Yeah, I need to run downstairs and grab a knife for my calzone. Okay. Alright, Donkey Duff, you have a good one. No skill for tree chopping? Nope. You do gain maintenance skill when you're chopping your trees, and I can't remember if axe has any impact on it one way or the other. I don't actually remember that. I remember it's not a big deal. But no, tree chopping is not a skill in the game. All right. But yeah, no, the maintenance does help you chop down trees in the sense that you have less likely a chance of damaging your axe each time you hit the tree. But when you're dealing with stone axes, they're pretty terrible. It's going to my axe is broken. Alright, put the next stone axe in our trunk. Stale stir fry? Hey man, sometimes you just gotta make it stale. Alright. It'll have to start collecting food in a minute. I'm gonna see if I can get away with just sticking around here and foraging and all that. Because, like, we should be able to. Like, very genuinely, I've been able to survive really long without needing any outside stuff in Product Zomboid. The only one that becomes kind of a kicker is the water. But usually if it has even something as small as a saucepan or a cooking pot, you can live for pretty much anywhere out in the wilderness. Like, the saw is a big, nice thing for progression-wise, but not strictly necessary. But if you have just a container of water you can boil stuff in, you can make yourself a campfire out of some logs. You know, and get some pretty good progress there. You know, if you got enough storage of water too, then you can even get away with not even needing the now you need to be near a body of water. Alright, missed those logs, that's fine. Okay. It's... Man, like, the best thing is I still have on YouTube, I have all of the footage from LNN. It's like, I think the entire run I only lost like 2 recordings. And so you actually do see where I like gradually, oh, there's more planks here? I keep finding planks and logs and stuff I didn't realize were still laying around. But because I had like everything recorded, you can actually go back and see like, you know, over a bunch of different parts of run, me building the base little by little. You know, going, oh, I have a problem that I need more base for, so I built more base. But that was when I was first starting the marathon runs and actually making enough progress to be meaningful. And then, you know, I'd start having to make all sorts of decisions around that. But then, as you know, you learn the game better and better, and you realize how much you don't need certain things. It really does kind of destroy a lot of it, that you have to, like, force yourself to be like, no, really, we're going to do this because we want to, not because it makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to put the door frame here. That's fine. We'll have, like, a grand entrance as 2 doors. Grab the branches. You can add those to the pile. Got some sunflower seeds. Poisonous berries. Okay. So I could always use all this stuff for like fires and grills and all that. Oh, more logs I forgot about. Okay. Enoch, oh, here we go. The Enoch rolled a 35. An angry hamster yells at Enoch. I passed in your general direction. There's a whiff of elderberries. Ah, yes. I do enjoy me some Monty Python. Okay, so we've got like the main room going in here. I plan on putting like a patio on the front of this place or like a garden or whatever in front. That's what this dedicated space is up here. We'll have the double doors there. We'll put windows along the sides. Which it's always fun trying to collect windows. You can actually take glass windows out of houses. Like, it's a thing the game does let you do. But, the thing you gotta keep in mind with it, it's an RNG chance you have to have a crowbar. And there's just a good chance that you'll just shatter the window trying to remove it. Oh. Drink more of the unsafe water. We'll probably get fairly sick with this round of it. So bear with me, chat. What I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to go grab that knife I said I need for my food. So I'm going to go ahead and put up an away screen again. I do apologize about that. Just logistics of food. So I'll be back here in just a minute. And definitely it's perfectly safe for me to just sit out in the open where there's zombies around and AFK on a server where I can't pause. Certainly a good idea. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to declare a variable. And we're going to declare the variable of a type integer. And we're going to set its value to input 1. Don't forget your semicolon. Sure. There we go. It's kind of wiggling to get the trailer to shift, and then turning the wheel straight so I have less resistance. Once I get over this hill, it's going to be so much easier, but we got to get over the hill first. Come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah, no, we already knew we needed a new tractor. I just don't have the money for it. But my hope is that this is the money for it. Oh, I just realized something. How am I going to get onto that plate? If that little incline is too much for us? Because that plate is raised. I mean, I guess we're just going to try and go for it. Momentum, carry me. Oh, actually, it doesn't. I was just grabbing a knife for when I go to eat my dinner and all that. I've got that. I want to see the zombies eat you while you're AFK. No. I know I'm safe here. I'm invincible. Are you kidding? Honestly, I'm surprised our character hasn't gotten sick. We should be getting sick, because that's a pretty good sippy sip of contaminated water. Why are there random shoes laying around here? So I would expect to get a little bit of a tummy tum ache. That's right. Vitas is fishing. And fishing does cause you to get a lot of shoes over time. Especially early on when you have, like, no fishing skill. May need to drink more water. Well, the amount, because that was more water than we had. Yeah, there's the queasy. I expect us to get to nauseous this time. By the way. All right. I'm mostly trying to make it a point to clean this up as well as we pass through here. So that slowly we get all these planks and twigs and... Oh, hey. I'll take a free leak. Okay, inventory is full. Boil for 7 days. Yeah, you want leather, you're gonna have to work for it. Like to have leather be edible. Alright. Let's go ahead and slam that fresh leak. Or not. I physically don't have the bag space to take the leak out. Yep, not so as figuring. I just don't have poisonous mushroom. Okay. Because this will be good for people making spears or axes or whatever. We'll have the branches there. If we do get a surplus, which we're looking like we'll get that. But if we do get a surplus, then it's just something that we can, we can always just turn around and put to use on our things. Leek salad. By that I mean, it's literally just a leek in a bowl. Which, don't get me wrong, I like leeks. Leeks are excellent. They're like an onion, but mild. But, that said, I'm not sure I just want to eat a bowl of diced leek. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. I don't think it'd be like, you know, super upset by it. It'd be just very, very one flavor. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. I was just thinking, is like, you know, if someone was like, you know, here's a leek to eat, would I be, you know, super upset? I'd be like, nah, it wouldn't be my favorite. Like, I enjoy leek. But just, like, eating a raw leek, I'm not sure would be the play I'd want to do. I would say our house is coming together pretty well so far. I dropped the one plank here. For the record, I'm not even sure if you can kill yourself by just drinking water normally. I imagine there's probably ways to do it where, like, you would drink a full, like, wait till you're, like, super extreme thirst, drink your entire fill, then slam a whole thing of coffee to immediately just trash your thirst again. There's probably ways if you, like, power gamed it, you could get the water to be fatal. But I'm gonna just keep drinking from the lake and see if we can actually get ourselves in danger with that. Like, just normal survival. What I will do is while we're doing that, I owe 2 Legos from Strider doing those bits earlier. So while we're waiting for our energy to recover, let's go ahead and get those 2 Lego pieces in place. For those who don't know, every single time I get a sub or 100 biddies, we add a Lego piece to the kit. So I'm just going to go ahead and get these pieces set aside. Get the 2 on here and go on that. And little by little, we just build up our kit. You're a fairly small one. You're only 5 pieces long. There you are. And I need 2 of you. But it's been kind of a fun thing we started doing with the after New Year's. I had been given a Lego kit, and I was like, all right, well, I can do a thing. So here's this. Piece 1. And piece 2. And thanks so much for that raid. I'll catch the name and everything going on there. I was just catching up on what I owe for some Lego stuff. But welcome in, raiders. Ooh, is that is that Larplad? I do apologize, I mispronounced your name. Let me know how to pronounce it correctly, because I'd like to get that correct. But what were you playing and how's it going? It does say that you're playing Product Zomboid. Twitch has been known to lie about that, though. Let's go ahead and eat a little bit of that. You was played Product Zomboid? Nice. I hope you had yourself a good stream, and I hope the you didn't embrace the bitey hugs. Alright, so we have eaten our leek, leave more sunflowers and all that. You did? Ah, you gotta watch embracing the bitey hugs. They're for keeps. Alright, we're about the tree branch. We're gonna have more and we know what to do with those. Yeah, but welcome in, raiders. I am Rual Storge. Well, actually, first of all, if you enjoy Product Zomboid, you can catch it over there with Larplad as well. But with all that said, I am Rual Storge. You play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Product Zomboid, where I used to hold the world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed. At 135,121 zombies killed on one character in one life in harder than apocalypse settings without mods to change itemization or vehicles. That said, that record has been beaten. But I am a variety streamer. I do play a large range of games between like RimWorld, Project Zomboid, Kenshi, lots of settlement builders, city builders, simulation games, like Farm Sim, American Truck Sim, all that. So I play a very wide range of games. But we do try to have good times and all good stuff. So I do hope you enjoy it here. And hopefully you'll find content that you like here. But yeah, it's always good to have people in the Product Zomboid community. I don't play this game nearly as much as I used to. I used to play it very, very heavily. Like, it's still always a variety streamer, but just a lot of time ended up in Product Zomboid because it's what I got known for. That said, these days, I don't do my marathon runs. Even though I do have a characters alive right now at 175-ish thousand. I don't remember the exact count, but I haven't been playing her very often. You're gearing up for 42 release? Yeah, we still don't know when it is, other than they basically said the odds are very likely it'll be this year. Probably on the earlier part of the year versus the later part of the year, but Indie Stone is one of those companies that they will release it when it's ready and not a second sooner. So we just wait. But we are running a community server right now that pretty much everyone's welcome into. We're based out of Lake Fallis. We're just north of it. Well, I mean, the main stuff is going on in Lake Fallis, but we are gradually building a community by a lake near Lake Fallis. Just, you know, building a town just for something different. Most of the time when I'm playing, I'm just go to zombies, slay zombies, go to sleep, wake up, slay zombies, go to sleep, wake up, slay zombies. You get the idea. So it's kind of nice just to, instead, like, I'm not even worrying about the zombies at all for the most part. Like, I'll fight them if they're in the way. But, yeah. I'd rather have it polished and done. Indie Stone is a great company. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Alright, and this should finish the framing out of the exterior of my building. So have this be like the front entryway. Alright. Nice meeting you as well. Thank you again for that raid. So I don't want to center this, to be honest. And the reason I don't want to center this wall is I want room to put like a bedroom and all that back here. And like probably the bathroom over here as well. So if I center it, then I don't have room to do that. So I'm going to move that so the doorway into the rest of the house is over here. I'm actually, you know what, I'll just leave that, like, open. Like, it won't have an actual door, it'll just be an open frame there, I think. Okay. So time to drink the not safe water. We're testing if I can actually have any problems if I just drink contaminated water endlessly. Oh, cool. We have a nice little park bench now. I'm assuming that was what Kira Liz was dropping by. Oh, actually, there's no point in me doing that right now. I need to... head back to town because I've maxed out my carpentry skill for right now with the books. So rather than waste time, let's go and top off our reading, getting a little bit better at learning carpentry and all that. Now, as a heads up on the channel, I do stream 9 hours every day, except for Thursdays. But what that does mean is one thing I do is about halfway through my stream, I will end up switching games. So we're not there yet, but we're not super far away from that point. But that is the thing, that even though I have the community server running, I'm still going to be maintaining that. My plan has been to log on to the community server every other day, to play for half a stream and whatnot. It's just one of those things that I put in well over 3,000 hours of Project Zomboid on the channel and everything over the past 2 years or whatever it's been. I've lost track. So it's easy for me to burn out in the game. Even though it's an amazing game, you know, you can only go so hard in a game before you're like, you know what, I need other things. And I'm actually perfectly content playing the game right now, like I'm not feeling the burnout, but I want to keep it that way so I don't get back to feeling burnt out again. So I like to mix things up. That's more a reference to why, like, I put up a community server and not just like binging products on, which actually, to be fair, a lot of days it's been after stream. Even when the days I don't play Product Zomboid, I usually been hopping on for 30, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that, give or take, depending on what's going on. Alright, so we are no longer off-roading, so I can pick up the speed a little bit. We'll need to zoom out because I've been hearing more and more reports that the roads up here are getting a little spicy. That way we don't slam into a group of zombies going 45 miles an hour or whatever. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Spencer1564, for subscribing for 5 months.
Thank you, Spencer.
Rules, wave rules, tap rules, space.
Thank you, Spencer, for the tier 1 sub, adding another plus point onto the counter. I really do appreciate that support. It does mean a whole heck of a lot, and you've been subbed to the channel for 5 months. So thank you again so much for that continued support. It means a whole heck of a lot, so thank you. Putting us up to 46 plus points. And for those who saw like the end of stream yesterday and they're like, wait a second, weren't we higher than that? I don't know what's up with that, to be entirely honest. By the count I had, we should have been like 52 points. But Twitch's official count was 45 at the beginning of stream or something like that. So I don't know why there's the discrepancy, but Twitch's official count is the only count that matters. So something got tallied incorrectly on my end. Twitch math is hard. I'm honestly wondering with some of them where they were where people had tier 3 subs that they did multiple months. I'm wondering if like we will see the points in a couple days kind of thing. Not quite yet. Put that in the reserves. Carpentry. Ooh, do we not have Carpentry 3? I thought we had Carpentry 3. It might be that someone was reading it and logged off within their bag. Just checking to see, like... I'm betting we've already taken pretty much everything there's to take from the bookstore. But it also might have respawned. Let me just take a little jog down to the bookstore. See if we can't find Carpentry 3 down there. Because it should be plenty long enough in-game that it's respawned, but I also don't know if someone's checked it since it would have respawned. It would be nice if the bookstore did respawn. As long as no one's modified the building, it should respawn. I'll take the fingerless gloves. Yeah, so this is respawn, definitely, because there's lots of extra tools here and watering cans and seeds. This is going to be mostly farming stuff. Okay, I'm satisfied with looking. Did someone sledgehammer the wall out of that? Alright. Alright. That was a wooden building, now it's a floating roof. Someone practiced carpentry there, I think. Yeah. Alright. We got a couple zombies on the south of the town. Not that big a deal. Our character is, like, extremely terrible at combat, by the way. I always start my characters off with, like, no stats. But because I have been entirely focused on just, like, base building and farming and all that kind of stuff, since normally I always do the combat, we are way behind on what our combat skills should be. But that's okay. Am I understanding people to, like, be able to get more variety? They're just chucking the books on the floor so they're not covering the shelves to make them eligible for, I mean, it works, I guess. If you see Foraging 5 in here, okay, I'll look for Foraging 5 and Carpentry 3. There's Carpentry 3. Alright, no luck at the Foraging 5, but I had 2 magazines I hadn't already read in here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab those. Oh, I should check the floors. With this disaster of approach. So one thing that people could do with all these books we have piled up is grab like the trunk of a car or duffel bag, and you can just load these things into a grill or something as fuel. Okay. Hey, I got a point in sprinting. I don't think I have a point in fitness yet, even. That's weird feeling. Alright. Is the community pyre? The 9,999 hour barbecue? Yep. Yeah, now if we keep dumping it on the floor like that, it'll become more and more of a mess. Eventually, we will need to do something. Whether it's, you know, use the trash can to just dump all the stuff in there, or, you know, have a grill in there that you just feed the extra books into, whatever. Alright. But I had 2 magazines we found that I didn't see on the shelves. Standard and one of the metalworking books. I've contributed that to the library. Alright. We do have the reading speed really sped up on the server, so it goes pretty fast. And people are putting a lot of work on the server, like a lot of work on the server. Like I said, it's been a thing that almost 24/7 we have at least roughly 3 people. It seems like ping pong between like 3 and 5-ish people all day long. It's been really impressive. Like, that's one of the things that surprises me, is I would check the server like in the middle of the night when I'm like, yeah, there's gonna be like no one on. I'd be like, oh, there's still 2 people on here. Okay. Sorry. Now, granted, that does partly is because I do know there's some people who are playing on the server who are from Australia and New Zealand. We also have some people who are on the server who are in the EU and some who are in the US. So it just kind of works out because I have an audience like all around the world that we just have like, you know, a nearly 24/7 occupancy of server. This is, to me, this is weird because normally what ends up happening with a lot of these servers is while the content creator's on, usually they're lively, and maybe during like certain peak hours, but usually a lot of the servers kind of go to sleep outside of that. So it's been like a surprisingly consistent server, which is a very nice thing to have. Alright. There's Carpentry 3 on the shelf with the rest of it. Did I eat all my sunflower seeds? Yes, it did. Let's see, you all wanted some chill multiplayer? Yeah, I do know a lot of the other servers I've seen run. Not all of them. Like I know Ultrasaurus had a fairly chill server going, but I do know a lot of the servers that were run with Product Zomboid. You know, people are going like, hey, this is the hardest server. Hey, the server's gonna have this like extra difficulty. Hey, you know, here's toxic fallout and you know cryogenic winter, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with any of that. But it is one of those things that people either A, not looking for a really intense time, or B, you know, they're new to the game and still learning, not really ready for an intense time. Both scenarios, those servers could be just a place that's just really hard to get involved with, kind of. And again, nothing wrong with any of those kind of servers, because there's absolutely a demographic for Project Zomboid that is looking for that kind of content and that kind of server to play on. But it does feel like there's just not many more relaxing Project Zomboid servers. Which I say relaxing, we're at 8 times population, so we're halfway to the absolute max the zombie population supports. But because we have most of our people are kind of staying active, not in the same area all the time, but I would say a good third of the people who pop on are hovering right around this area, you know, or in the outskirts of this area. And then we have people kind of making like looting sorties out to like go get military backpacks or wherever their destination is. That generally speaking, it's done a pretty good job of keeping that in good shape. I've debated, I probably won't do it anymore today because it's a whole escapade. I could see that maybe not like today, not tomorrow, but like the next day when we do the next time I hop on the server, like hop on the server on stream, that we potentially, for anyone who wants, get a couple vehicles and go get ourselves some military backpacks. For those who want to go. Come on. But either go down the way of like the military base and try and make that work, or to the checkpoint. On our pop settings, it wouldn't matter which one you choose. Either way, we would definitely be able to make it happen. You should probably go get a passenger van. Yeah, no, we got the big passenger van. I think what, you can have 6 people sit in those? I mean, either way, like whether we get a couple of 4-seaters or like, you know, a big passenger van or a second vehicle. Because I feel like that'd be a fun tour. Like everyone gets their bound journals and updates them, leave them behind, and see if we can't score ourselves some military backpacks. Because the alternative is I just run up there on my own, and if you're doing it on your own, not too bad. Like, if for anyone who wants to try and get a hold of a military backpack before that point, and they want to do it safe, which, you know, it's about as safe as you can do on the higher zombie pops. What I would recommend doing, if you want to pretty much guarantee yourself a bag without going in the middle of awful, so up here is the military checkpoint. That's a rough place. But if you go along over to the right over this way, I want to say if you follow this road up instead, there's a fence line around here, but there's a gap in the fence line over here. You can actually go through the little gap in the fence, and I want to say this area can have some military stuff. There's like a couple crossroads around here you can get some military stuff. But what you could do is follow that area to the left to the military checkpoint from this side, and you should be able to avoid the worst of the the worst of the zombies. You can always just, if you're comfortable, you can just push into the military checkpoint itself and go zombie slaying, and that'll be, you know, that'll be fine. As long as you're comfortable fighting large numbers in an area that you haven't properly cleared yet. But it's also those ones that if you grab like a group of 4 or 5 people, you know, you'll probably take a casualty or 2 before it's done, just from people losing track of each other. Yeah, the Project Zomboid. I keep hitting 3 thinking it'll make the cruise control go on. This isn't Farm Simulator, in case you're wondering. So no matter how much I hit that, it's not gonna turn on my cruise control. I have to shift W. I gotta check what the quality is on this engine. It stalls so much. This thing has to be pretty bad. It's pretty empty now, but getting there'll be a challenge? Gotcha. That's no surprise. I mean, it's that or the military checkpoint, or the military base, and the military base is, in my opinion, the most dangerous place on the map once you're past early game. Once stuff starts to grow in, that military base gets to be a real rough time. Alright. So a logical floor plan in the real world would probably put your master bedroom over here. You know, you'd have your wall off. You'd have like your living room space here, maybe your kitchen over there, and then maybe your bathroom over here. Now, I don't want to do that. I want to keep this like a big open like living room area. I'm just trying to decide exactly how I want to lay this out over here. So I think what I'm going to do... Respawn on? Yes. Generally speaking, when you play multiplayer, you're going to want respawn turned on. Just the ability for people to kill zombies is so much higher when they don't have to sleep, and there's many of them. All right. And even though I got perfectly good water in my bag, I'll just take a little sippy of the poison water. It's fine. And just get more planks, keep building out the framing of our house. We're definitely not going to get the house done today on stream, because that is one thing, is it does take time, but that's kind of the appeal for when you're doing like a long survival run, is you can sit there and you have like this big project to work on, so you can go to like one of the towns, all that. Should you keep the gravel going in a straight line? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like basically just make it a straight line. I don't know exactly how we want to end it by the lake. I'm negotiable on that. But just generally having the gravel, because it's going to make one tile go to straight line, and then wherever we want to terminate it by the lake-ish, Whether we want to like literally butt into the lake, if we want to, you know, just have it go to a certain point, then we make like a ring around the lake. Then this tree is disagreeing. Oh, that just means we need to cut down the tree. And if it's not like a tree, if it's like a bush tree, then you have to like right-click remove. You might need a knife on you or something like that. That does happen. I don't have the tools to deal with it in my inventory at the moment. Nah, need an axe? Yeah, we're gonna end up having to do a lot. There's a bunch of trees in the way. I got the southern line of it should be mostly clear. The northern edge of the road should be mostly clear, but I left trees in the middle that I didn't have the axes to get rid of. By now, there's a chance we've had 1 or 2 grow in as well. Which is the reason we need to get the gravel down, otherwise we'll have to just keep clearing the path each time we get on, and no one wants to do that. Yeah, so I can either see it like going over here and then making a ring around the lake. I could see it literally just going here and then just somehow diffusing it so it just kind of looks like it ends. That'll be something we'll just have to figure out when we get there. And if you're wondering why I'm prioritizing building all the framing out first and not putting up the walls, is you actually make higher and higher quality walls as your carpentry gets higher. Like, they get like a little bit better durability and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care about that part about it, but they don't look as good. So you can tell when someone's got like very low carpentry and they immediately built their house because it looks super like scuff and patchy versus when they've got a bit more skill, it looks, you know, it's still not great, but it still looks alright. Yep, you can. You can upgrade your walls as well. Okay, we could sit down here at the bench and all that. Yeah, I want to say all you have to do to upgrade your walls. It's been a while. I think you just literally just rebuild the same spot and like say, hey, I want to make this a Mark III wall or whatever. Yep, so we gained some points at foraging. We've gained 4 carpentry skill today. We finished farming. Just doing all this stuff. Okay. Wait. Yeah, so a little bit we'll put up our vote on what we're playing for the next part of the stream. I do think I will include RimWorld in the next part of the stream. I did mention I'm going to be playing a lot less RimWorld right now, just I feel like people are getting a little burnt out on it. But not that I want to fully quit it. But I'm thinking it's those things that I'll put on the where people can vote for it, like, you know, once a week or so. Alright, so just gotta rest. Then we'll go up, grab ourselves another pile of planks, take those planks over. We could start building out more of those door frames and start building the walls and whatnot. Because then we'll need to decide what kind of windows we want. Because there's not just a style of window. We'll have to get consistent ones. That's when town's gonna start looking real rough, is when we start going and building this area and going, oh, we want to get like our nice looking windows. Because when you start ripping chunks out of buildings, you know, they stop looking as good. And that's an inherently damaging thing to do. I don't think I'm gonna make like a rule that like don't damage the places here or whatever. I don't think people will be able to damage each other's safe house. I'm hoping not, because that would be a problem. Alright. Yep. Oh no, to be honest, just driving the checkpoint, the military checkpoint in Louisville, that actually can get pretty rough. Like even just in a normal situation, just with the volume of zombies, you might end up having to just shove your way through. A lot of people just underestimate how many zombies can be on that main highway rolling through. That's weird. That tree shouldn't be able to be in the road with gravel. That's one of the things that gravel's supposed to do. If that doesn't work, that means the plan B is to get a ridiculous number of planks and lay down a wood road. Oh, I think that was others putting road down. I gotcha. So, like, the trees grew in, they just put down the gravel beneath it. Yeah, I'll just need to cut down those trees, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's what I was figuring. It's like, that's not supposed to be able to be there. Yep, now you're all good. Thank you, Vitez. Like, that's the beauty of it for building this community down here. Because they have to cut all these trees, we actually are having pretty much plenty of planks to go around. We'll eventually just need to cut trees for the purpose of planks and planks alone, but that's fine. Yeah, it's like those two trees gotta go, that one's gotta go. Yeah, I think what happened is I had cleared a path along the bottom and a second path along the top. I think just because the server's running 24/7 because people are on, so like roughly a month, just shy of a month is passing every day. It is one of those things that they're growing in faster than we expect just because more days are getting done per day than we expect. Which is not a bad problem to have. Alright, so I think the only doorway I was missing is over here. And little by little, it becomes the home. But yeah, I'm gonna need to get windows eventually. That'll be crowbar time. I'll wait to do that till, like, my carpentry is way up, though. Because I think that reduces the odds you you bust your windows when you're taking it out. It never hits 0%, I don't think, but you can get it down to like 15% or something like that. Alright. Now with that, while my character rests, I'm going to go ahead and get the poll going to figure out what we're doing for the second part of stream. So don't mind me, I'm going to go ahead and get that up. For those who don't know, like I said, about halfway through stream we do a poll to see what games we're switching to. That way we're not playing just one game the whole stream. That way if like one game isn't really people's jams, we get, you know, options to float between them. And also it keeps things fresh for both me and the audience, so we're not just burning one game the whole day. So there's some days I do end up playing just one game the whole day. So put up RimWorld as an option. We will put up Kenshi, Farming Simulator 22. For those who didn't see yesterday's stream, we finally got our harvester. We didn't just get our harvester, we got a much bigger harvester than we planned for, which is a good problem to have. So that's a good thing. So everything is changing in that run. Okay, and I will do this, which is probably a mistake on my part, is I will put up Pacific Drive. And the only reason I say it's a mistake is that game looks amazing. I don't technically own it. So if it does win, I'm going to have to buy it and download it real fast. But that's on the roster for a while, and I'll put Enshrouded up there. So we're going to have a bunch of good options here. So good luck to may, you know, the best game win. But that said, if you do not see the poll, make sure you refresh your browser. If you are on mobile, you might need to reload the app. But the games they've got listed there is RimWorld will be continuing the whole tile challenge if that one wins. Kenshi will be continuing our Crab Raider run if that one wins. Farming Simulator will be continuing our Survivor Man challenge if that one wins. Pacific Drive, if that one wins, I'm going to quickly buy it and download it and all that kind of good stuff. And that'll be my first time playing it. And Enshrouded will be the beginning of a playthrough that I have only briefly played it to be like, oh, this game looks neat. Let me wait till it doesn't have a bajillion people playing it. We're now at that point, so that's now an option. Alright. And while that poll goes on, I'm going to go ahead and run over here and grab some more stuff, build a little bit more wall. For the record, the cars don't damage you. We have PvP turned off. You can't even, opt into PvP, it's just shut off. But yeah, so, right now, it's looking like we've got a lot of people going for Pacific Drive. For those who don't know what Pacific Drive is, I probably should have mentioned this. It is, what would be the way? An extraction driver kind of thing? Oh yeah, no, I figured, Vitus. That's one of the reasons I did turn it off, is with the desync and all things, you could be trying to avoid running people over and still absolutely run them over. But yeah, so it's so it's an extraction driver. The idea being is it's not a horror game. That'd be inaccurate to display. Oh, by the way, if you go for tying, you're gonna wind up having stuff you're not looking to see played on the channel, because people go out of their way to try and tie up the number, and then it means a game that would have gotten way less votes still manages to make it. And then a whole bunch of people aren't interested in that game. So even though the other game should have way more votes, I'm not saying that's what's happening. But when I do see a tie present, I'm like, okay, if you're going out of your way to tie it, that ultimately does tend to serve to get stuff that people are less interested in seeing played as the thing played. But yeah, so it's kind of an extraction driver where you drive around, you get out of your car, you grab some resources, you pop in, your car takes some damage. Between rounds, you repair your car and do a whole bunch of stuff to upgrade and whatnot. It's got a story to it. I know the very basics of the story because I've seen a few other people play it, but I've kind of deliberately kept myself naive to the main story and all that going on, and a lot of the game mechanics and all that. You have crab forever? Yet not even a single vote went for crabs. Like, literally you say crab forever, and literally not one person voted for crabs. I'm getting very mixed messaging here. I'm hearing crab forever, and I'm not seeing crab forever. I've seen many crab. It's fine. I'm actually trying to build this wall here. That's fine. I'll just build that one so it stops sticking that. We love crabs, not tonight. Yeah, no, it's no problem. I'm not saying that this is like, oh, we didn't get votes, no more Kenshi or a thing like that. Nothing like that. It was just people going crab forever, and I was like, but no one's voted for it. Yeah, so it's 5 for RimWorld, 5 for Pacific Drive, 2 for Kenshi, and 1 for Farm Sim. It's not a particularly unexpected vote breakup. I know there's been a lot of people who have been eager to see me play Pacific Drive. And then anytime RimWorld's on there, it usually does extremely well. Which I do find interesting when a lot of people are like, oh, we're so burned on RimWorld that people vote for it. But I think that's one of those things about people do have a tendency to vote for the stuff they're familiar with. And of the games there, RimWorld's probably the one people know the best. If it does a tie, do a tiebreaker between the two? Yeah, no, I think I would. And see, someone tried to tie it. We got a last-second RimWorld in there to snipe it at the end. The person held their vote right to the end just to make sure they got it. So, RimWorld wins. I've caught on. That's what my audience does. Is they are 100% down to get the game they want to see, and they will sit on their points and vote at the last second, just to swing the vote their way when people try and tie it up. Which is 100% fine. That's why I warn people against trying to tie it. Alright. So with that, have a good one. Alright, JD, you take it easy. Yeah, I know there's a couple people who are pretty burnt out on RimWorld. But that's the reason why, like I said, I'm only planning on doing it about once a week, I think, now. Alright, so with that said, it is time for me to hop off the Project Zomboid and get our music going for a little bit here while I switch everything over. For those who are on TikTok and YouTube, the stream will end for you and have to start over. It's just unfortunately you can't switch categories on those platforms in a meaningful way. It has all sorts of weird side effects, so I have to end stream and start stream for you. For those over here on Twitch, we actually take streaming seriously here and actually have that functionality built in a way that's not terrible. So that's going to be a thing that just works. So we will catch you all later. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. But here on Twitch, we'll just move over to the next game and we'll get that going.